What's going on, KO Bets? What's going on, YouTube? This is KO Bets. My name is Bill. Let me turn off this music here. We got to knock out this show a little bit quick this morning. Lost track of time. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Before we get started, we had a UFC show on... The cat wanted to come in. We had a UFC show on Friday. We had fights yesterday. The picks went pretty good. We'll go over those on our next UFC show. Otherwise, it's Sunday morning. I'm having a little bit of a rough morning. But, yeah, we'll get started here. NFL Week 11 games. It's hard to believe we're in Week 11 already. More than through the halfway part of the season. I would say that there's definitely some surprise teams like the Eagles. Their record's outstanding. Thought the Colts would be better. Come here. Come here. Don't go up there. Come here. 1 second. Come here. The cat's joining us today. Buffalo Bills, pretty good as advertised. Yeah, definitely some surprise teams. Like I said, Rams coming off some teams that are bad to the, in a surprising way. The Rams, the Raiders, even Denver, how their offense is looking. Cincinnati still hasn't quite caught their stride. The Chargers not doing amazing. So yeah, let's get into it. The first game of the week we've got is Chicago at Atlanta taking on the Falcons. Chicago's offense has been outstanding. Defense has been poor. Atlanta, their offense has been okay. Also poor defense. We see a high over-under at 48.5 points. I got to roll with my Bears here. I really like taking stabs at Justin Fields to be an anytime touchdown scorer too. I placed a bet on that earlier this morning. The Bears win with the Justin Fields anytime touchdown score. Over-unders at 48.5. I'm going to go with over. And then because I'm going with Chicago on the money line, I'll obviously take them as the spread pick. The next game we've got is Philadelphia at Indianapolis. Philly looking to bounce back after the loss on Monday Night Football to the Washington Commanders. I mean, there's no other way around it. Indy's just been bad. I wanted to look up the injury report. Get this going too. So, you're gonna get kicked out of here, Bean. So Eagles just without a cornerback. Colts don't look that banged up either. I was checking Jonathan Taylor's status. I know he came back, I think last week. So Eagles are a touchdown favorite, -6.5. I gotta roll with that. The Eagles have just been really good on both sides of the ball this year. Obviously had a rough week last week against the Commanders, who ran the ball. Terry McLaurin played an unreal game. I think the Colts, if they're able to run the ball, they could definitely, have a good showing offensively and keep the game pretty close. But I feel pretty comfortable with the touchdown spread there. I like that. The over-under's at 45.5. My question isn't, are the Eagles going to be able to put up points? My question is, are the Colts going to be able to put up points and keep up with the Eagles? I'm going to say yeah. We're going to go over again. And we're going Eagles spread -6.5, and the over-under at 45. This light is so bright up here, but I got to use it to illuminate myself. The next game we've got is Cleveland at Buffalo. Actually, I think this game's being played at Ford Field up in Detroit. It got relocated because there was going to be like 6 feet of snow or something crazy like that in Buffalo. That's absurd. Just to have 6 feet of snow is... That's insane. The East Coast is crazy. Looking at the injury report, it looks like Njoku is still questionable. If he's playing, I like him. I like his value always if he's playing as far as a daily fantasy pick. Looks like the Bills are fairly healthy, minus Edmonds being out. That's a key part of the defense. I think the Bills have got this game. The only question is are they going to win by more than a touchdown? I'm gonna say they cover. They win by like maybe 10 points, 9 points. I'm gonna say they cover. And if they don't cover, probably a line I'm gonna stay away from. The Browns just run the ball so efficiently. Just hand the ball off to Chubb. Another dude I like as an anytime touchdown scorer today, Nick Chubb, -135. The dude's a touchdown machine. Over-under set to 50.5. Let's go with over. Let's go with a high-scoring affair. I think the Browns have a good team. There's obviously, the QB component could be a little bit better. Defensively, they could be a little bit healthier for sure. But good football team, and Bills are obviously they were my pick to go to the Super Bowl. We'll see if they win it. The next game is Detroit at New York taking on the Giants. I mean, Detroit looked good against the Bears, but the Bears defense is just so bad. And New York's been playing pretty good defense, like bend don't break defense all year long. Let's look at the injury report just to see if there's any key personnel that are out of this game. All right, Josh Reynolds. They've got some wide receiver issues, but on the Lions side of the ball, healthy running backs, and Amon St. Brown is back. He looked good against the Bears. Was getting open whenever he wanted. I'm gonna roll with the Giants here. My question is the over/under 45. I think I gotta go over. I think Detroit just has an offense that's capable of putting up points. Someone who's quietly just having an awesome year is Jamal Williams. He's got like 10 touchdowns on the year. Swift is back. I think it might be his second game back off of injury. So, I mean, Williams could be like an anytime touchdown scorer. Saquon, he's an appealing pick as an anytime touchdown scorer. I like Saquon more than Jamal, but yeah, I like both of those picks. Next game is Carolina at Baltimore. This is a big spread, and Baltimore is just, I don't even, if they have stats on it, or Baltimore has just not been great against the spread. Any stat on it? Panthers have lost each of their 8 last road games. Yeah, we're going with Baltimore for sure on the money line. Yeah, the underdogs have covered the spread in each of the Ravens' last 7 games at M&T Stadium. Yeah, it just seems like teams cover the spread against the Ravens. It's Roquan's back, or he's now a Raven. I think that should be helpful against the run attack, but the defense for the Ravens is just kind of shaky sometimes. I'm confident they're gonna win the game. It's just that spread I'm a little bit concerned about. If it was like 9.5, I'd feel comfortable in the Ravens. I'm going to say because they're the home team, I'm going to say they cover. I think Carolina maybe has a tough day moving the ball offensively and putting up 6 points. Over-under's low at 41.5. I wonder if Andrews is playing. Well, keep an eye on Lamar Jackson. If he's out, then I don't feel great about the Ravens. I still think they win. I just don't feel great about them covering the spread. I'm going to go with the under 41.5. I don't think Carolina's been putting up a ton of points. It's a huge spread. I just think they're going to have trouble putting up 6 points. Carolina is. I could see them being held to single digits in this game. The next game is Washington Commanders at Houston. Give me the Commanders. I like them to cover the spread. 2.5 is more appealing, but like them to cover the spread. Houston's been pretty bad against the run all year long. Over-unders have 41 points. I'm going to go with under. I think we have a low-scoring game. Lots of running with Pierce, Robinson, and Gibson on the other side. Yeah, going with under. Low-scoring affair. New York at New England taking on the Patriots. This is a game, I think New York won their initial meeting, won pretty decidedly. That was in New York. Now this game at New England, I like New England. I'm going to probably, just based on what we saw in that last game, I'm going to probably stay away from betting on this one, but I like New England to bounce back here, have a really good game. Defense shows up, plays well. Offensively, they're able to put up points, and I think the Jets struggle this time around. So give me New England to cover the 3.5. I think they could win by a touchdown. Over-under's really low at 38 points only. I gotta go over. I think the... I I think the Patriots could get into the 20s easily, like, 24, 27 points. I think the Jets could score 6 a couple times. Give me the over. The next game we've got is the Los Angeles Rams taking on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Cooper Kupp's out, but just on paper, it seems like I should take the Rams all day. But they've been bad. 3-6 so far. New Orleans with the terrific run defense. Run offense. I'm going to go with the dog here. I'm going to go with the Rams on the road to win. Another dog. I have the Bears on the road to win. I'm going to go with the Rams on the road to win. Over-unders at 39.5. Give me the under. The Rams defense has been pretty good all year. The Saints defense has not been good all year. But the Rams offense has just been pretty bad. So I think this game's a low-scoring affair. Give me under 39.5 points in that affair. Las Vegas Raiders taking on Denver in Denver. We're going with Denver here. Raiders have been one of the biggest disappointments, in my opinion, along with the Broncos. Devontae Adams is questionable. The Raiders are already without Darren Waller. I think I saw another wide receiver. What's his name? Their wide receiver 2's on IR already. So I think the Raiders are going to have a lot of trouble scoring points in this game and moving the ball. And then Derek Carr, no weapons, no help. I think this is a tough game for him offensively. Over-unders have 41.5. I'm going to go with under, and I'm going to go with Denver to cover, Denver to win on the money line. One of the games I'm looking most forward to today is Dallas at Minnesota, taking on the Vikings. A couple of teams with really, really good records. Here we go. 6-3, 8-1. Zeke is back today, but it sounds like they're going to use Tony Pollard a little bit more. And the Vikings have been really, really good. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. So the over-unders at 48.5. I'm going with over. I like the weapons both of these teams have. CeeDee Lamb with a monster game last week. Justin Jefferson's always primed to have a monster game. Tremendous running backs on both sides of the field. I'm going to go with... We keep doubting the Vikings. We keep doubting them. I'm going to go with the home underdog, the Vikings. I'm going to go with over 48.5, and I'm going to go with the Vikings to cover. There's a lot of things I like about Dallas. Their defense is good. But if Green Bay's putting up big points in the passing attack with Christian Watson against the Cowboys, I think Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson are going to be good. And I think the Vikings offense is way more dynamic than what's going on in Green Bay. So I think we're doubting the Vikings. Only one loss on the year. I'm going to roll with them. I am going to roll with them. Forgot to mention, anytime scorer prospect I like in this game is Stevenson a lot for the Patriots. For the Commanders, Brian Robertson, he's like plus 125. For the Saints, I guess I like Kamara at plus 100. For Dallas and Minnesota, I'm not going to nominate anything. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Cincinnati is the 3.5 point favorite. Over-unders at 39.5. Pittsburgh's defense has been good, you know. It's been really solid, and offensively, they're trying to find their stride. Jamar Chase is out. He's missed a lot of games this year for the Bengals. I like the Bengals in this spot. But I do think Pittsburgh is capable of making this game close and interesting. I like Joe Mixon as an anytime touchdown scorer in this game. I'm going to roll with the Bengals on the road to win this one. Over-under set to 39.5. Yeah, the Bengals defense hasn't been great. I'm going to go with over, and I'm going to go with the Bengals to cover. And then, like I said, I think Joe Mixon as an anytime touchdown scorer, minus 120. He's having a monster year, just punching in points. Kansas City on the road taking on the Chargers. Like Kansas City here. Like them to cover. Juju Smith-Schuster is out for Kansas City. Any other significant injuries? Yeah, got to pay attention. It sounds like Mike Williams is playing and Keenan Allen are going to play. Not sure about Gerald Everett, but yeah, the Chargers definitely need these two wide receivers back. The offense could be dynamic. They need those wide receivers to make it happen, though. They need them healthy. They need them performing well. Let's see. I'm going to go with Kansas City to win this game. Cover the 5.5 point spread. Over-under set to 52.5. I'm going to go with under. We've definitely seen the primetime games step it up as far as the points output, but I just think 52.5 is a big spot. I'm confident in the Chiefs' ability to put up points, not too confident in the Chargers. I could see a score like 27 to 21, and 27 to 17. I could see something like that, and at that point, No, I'm changing it. I'm going over. It's the friggin' Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. I'm going over. San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. 49ers are the pretty sizable favorite. Cardinals had a lot of people listed on the injury report. Zach Ertz is out. Murray, Hopkins, both questionable. Got to keep an eye on them. I think I like the 49ers here regardless. Just makes a lot of sense. They added McCaffrey several weeks ago. They're all in. Really like their team. Garoppolo, as long as he's doesn't turn the ball over, this team can definitely win football games. So I'm going to go with the 49ers here. I'm going to go with over 43.5 and the 49ers to cover the 8-point spread. We'll go ahead and pull up my Twitter here. I did post some fantasy lineups. Let's see. This isn't my Twitter, by the way. I don't know who. I mean, I guess it's mine, but okay. So here are my Draftkings lineup. So I did an all-day one. Rolling with Justin Fields, who's just had monster game after monster game, and now he's going in, arguably in the last 3 weeks, he's going up against his easiest opponent in Atlanta. I went with a couple of decent running backs. I loved Brian Robinson's usage last week, something like 24 rushes. Going up against Houston here, I think he could have a monster game. Went with Kenyon Drake as well. I just think there's a lack of weapons offensively for the Ravens. I mean, Andrews is terrific. Lamar Jackson is dynamic. But I think Drake needs to be a part of the offense. He can punch in points. They're going up against the Panthers. I anticipate them to be up big, so maybe they'll implement more of a rushing approach, and Drake will get that usage. I also think they're, in goal line situations, it makes sense to hand the ball off to Drake and not put Jackson in a bad position. I think this guy's name is Nico Collins for the Houston Texans. He was cheap, like $4,100. Went with Stephon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver. Cole Kmet at tight end. He's been a touchdown machine the last couple weeks. With Justin Fields, I really like that connection. At flex, I'm going with Zacchaeus, the wide receiver 2 of Atlanta right now. The Bears have just, like you saw it against Detroit, like they're not a good pass defense. They're not a bad run defense, but they're like, we have no rushing attack as far as the edge rush, QB pressure, and I think we have an okay secondary, but it's kind of banged up. Let's actually see what we got going on this week. Kindle Vindor is out. I think Johnson might already be out for the Bears. So you see it, just little breakdowns in our defense, and for that reason, I'm gonna take a cheap wide receiver 2 option for the Atlanta Falcons, and then defense Commanders. Yeah, I like them. They've got their first round pick coming back today too, the edge rusher. I can't remember his name. For afternoon, I went with Wilson. Why did I go with Wilson? I don't know. I think they're playing the Raiders, and yeah, I'm not really sure why. Joe Mixon, like him to score some touchdowns today. Pollard, I'd like him to get some usage. Spent money on CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. A couple of tight ends in Hurst and Dulcich. And then Osborne for the Vikings as well. And then for the primetime lineup, I like this lineup a lot. We'll see if it works out. With Juju out, I went with Tony and Scantling and Kelsey and Mahomes. Mahomes, he's just a beast, scoring 30-plus fantasy points the last couple of weeks. Spent money on the 2 elite running backs, McCaffrey, Eckler. Rondale Moore, like him a lot, especially if Hopkins is out, like him. Jenkins has just gotten a little bit of usage. Like, I think he might have had like 4 targets last week for the 49ers. I like him. And then, didn't have a lot of money left over, so went with the Chargers defense, which could get blown out, but maybe they'll have like a pick six or something like that, or an interception, So those are my picks for the week. Let's highlight the games I like. I like the Bears here to cover. I like the money line. I like the over in that game. I love the Eagles here. I love the Eagles even by a touchdown. For here, I like the Bills in this spot. I know whenever you're like tickling lines like this, you should probably just go with the other team covering, but I like the Bills. See 12.5 points for the Ravens. I like the Ravens, but I'm not going to touch that line. I'm going to go with the Commanders here. And again, I just need to tease it to Commanders 2.5. I like the Patriots here, and again, I had a couple of pushes last week with that 3-point line. I'm just not taking any chances like that. Like Denver. Like Kansas City's line. Yeah, I think that's it. So I've got like 8 picks selected here. We've got the Bears money line, Bears Atlanta to go over 48.5, Eagles and Bills to both win by a touchdown, Commanders, Patriots, Denver all to win by a field goal, and Kansas City to win by a touchdown. Yeah, I like this. Probably going to put like, I don't know, maybe put like 5 on each of these here. Maybe even do a little round robin action with like 50 cents. $28 bets, that's only $14. Payout $48 if I win them all. Yeah, I'd probably do a round robin, maybe $1 if it's 28 bets. Probably do that. So let me check up on the chat here, make sure everyone's doing good. We'll go ahead and end the poll. No one gave me their prediction on the Vikings Cowboys. That's okay. We're off this Friday, no UFC event, but we should be back. We should be back the week following. We've got Thanksgiving as well coming up. I'm just looking for my music that I had before. Here we go. Because I'm signing off. All right, everyone. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the games. I am going to the United Center a couple nights in a row here. I'm going to the Blackhawks game tonight and the Bulls game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Bulls haven't been good. Honestly, I haven't really been keeping up with the Blackhawks, but I'm excited to go see a hockey game again. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, short week, Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. I should probably do. I'm gonna knock out really quickly the Thanksgiving games just in case I'm not on here prior to then. Like Buffalo on the road, providing everyone's healthy. Like them on the road. Over/unders 51.5. We'll go over 51.5. Like them to cover the 10 points. Probably you'll tickle that down to like 9.5. New York at Dallas. I like Dallas in this spot. Like them to cover the 7 points. Over/unders at 43. Let's go over. New England Patriots at Minnesota. I'm going to roll with Minnesota in this game. Minnesota is the better football team. They're going to be at home. Like them to cover the 3.5 points. Over/under set to 43.5. And let's go over. Let's go high scoring. All favorites to cover. 2 home teams, 1 road team. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a good Sunday. Peace.